130,000 elephants, the world's biggest elephant population. You're watching Money Daily from the BBC. Straight ahead, Qatar Airways deal with Rwanda Air. Qatar Airways, one of the biggest and leading airlines in the world, has set her eyes on the African markets. East African newspaper is reporting that the airline is in the process of buying shares in Rwanda Air in an effort to increase its foothold in the continent. The deal follows a state visit to Rwanda earlier in the year by Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. The two governments agreed on reciprocal promotion and protection of investment, air service agreement, and an MOU on economic, commercial, and technical cooperation. While it's not clear what percentage of Rwanda Air that is to be acquired or whether the technical agreement touches on routes, staffing, and what both airlines are set to gain, Qatar Airlines is seen to be solidifying its presence in the continent. The Doha-owned airlines flies to, get this, 48 destinations in Africa, while Rwanda Air flies to only 26 destinations around the world. So we took this to our Biz 100 experts, our eyes and ears on the ground, and we asked them, what do deals like these mean for air travelers?
I think it's fantastic on one hand because it does open up a lot more routes. However, there are complexities when you're traveling on an African passport that you have to navigate. And so you have very specific visa transit route requirements or other requirements that sort of make it difficult for you to navigate those routes from a partnerships perspective. And what makes it even more complex is the fact that a lot of these embassies don't necessarily reside in your country of origin.
And with the new AFTA agreement, which has sort of sorted out a lot of the rules and regulations on the African airspaces, you will find that suddenly air cost and airfares will come down significantly for movement within Africa. There will be some real competition where you've got KQ, Rwanda and Ethiopian Airlines finally sort of creating these competitive pricing strategies so that more people can start, moving and trading within the continent.
As a young mother, I like to take my kids with me when I travel, even for work, even for professional reasons. But with the lack of intra-African connectivity, this is a big issue for me. A few months ago, I had to go to Benin to travel from Nairobi to Cotonou. You won't believe me when I tell you that I have to travel all the way from Africa, all the way out of Africa, to Istanbul before reaching Benin. Women, as a mother and as a young professional, this is a burden I can't afford for three reasons. First, in terms of the costs. Secondly, because of the emotional and physical fatigue this causes. And thirdly, because of the high flight carbon footprint of such, all these connections. I think all these issues can be avoided by a strong partnership between amongst African airlines companies. And I'm not just saying this because of the individual benefits. Of course, I like the fact that I can arrive at my destination and just go to my meeting the second day or even the same day without being exhausted. I also like the fact that, my kids can easily travel within Africa and be connected to other countries of our continent and learn more. I think it's the best way to learn about our history, our cultures, and our wealth and everything, by experiencing, the real connections on the ground at the country and even at the company level. This carries significant benefits for them as well. For the companies, it means that, a stronger partnership with other airlines companies, which means that the cost, the flight ticket will be driven down. It also means more job creation opportunities, more opportunities to grow. For the country, it's the same, in terms of economic, because of, the revenues, increase. It means more, it also translates into social and economic growth. And, boom, Africa rising. But the good thing, I'm quite optimistic with the signature and the imminent implementation of the African Free Trade Area. I hope this will also touch upon, the aviation sector and contribute to, you know, less burden for women traveling, but also bigger opportunities from Africa in this globalization